Remember, we're in the Philippines. We're not going. Aaron, best Google review plugin is by Trust Advisor or Trustpilot, one of the two. I'll be going over that on another class. The reason I'm going over this class is everybody was like, you know, oh my God, I want this information. So I'm giving it to everybody. And most of the time, everybody's seen it. So Sodden, St. Louis, if you go here, we do these stacks all the time. This is my SOP or standard operating procedure, if you will, for the SOP. Okay, let's go to, give me 1 second. I'll pull a client up. Oh, let's see. Let me open up another window and pull it to the side. How is everybody? Y'all doing good? Give me a 1 if you're doing good. Let's see, DL let you in. Awesome. All right. So this is a typical will stack. I don't even know what to name it, so I just named it will stack. Okay. If you go down here, I don't hide the text, but I don't make it so much so it's just blatantly in your face because I didn't want everybody seeing it. But now everybody's going to see it. All right. I know why it's blurry now. Give me 1 second. I know exactly why. Oh, let's see here. OBS. Go to. All right. Now there you go. All right. So on this right here, this is Dent Picks. Okay. It's a client of mine, old client of mine. And you'll see down here in the very bottom of the screen, you'll see this little text, tiny text. This says Dent Picks Auto Hell Repair in Plano, Texas, because that's what their main keyword is. But if you click on it, what you're going to see is I actually have their Google site embedded. I have images hot linked, and I'll explain everything. Then I have an RSS feed. Then I have the name, address, phone number. Then I have their map and everything. What I'm going to be giving y'all today, it's called Will Stack SOP. I don't even know what to name the damn shit. You can name it RSS feed, stack SOP, whatever. The reason why I found this out originally, Holly, was because I was doing the same thing back in March or April. I was like, I wonder if there's a way to pull in all the GMB posts from the GMB into the website. And there was nothing. I couldn't find jack diddly shit.
Yeah, I think I spent like 2 weeks on it. I was getting agitated. I couldn't figure it out.
So originally, that's why I hot linked shit. So originally why I hot linked images in here was because of that. Because you can do the RSS feed, but it's not pretty. It's just repeating. It's just pulling in the feed is all. So we'll go through all the steps. Let me pull this to the side, but I'll give it all to you. So step 1 is you make the actual page, right? You make a page just like you would anything else. Step 2, which is all this is in my will stack. So you're not going to have to guess what's the code or anything like that, right? Can you see my notepad? Yes or no, which I doubt, but
no.
Let me, stop the share and let me share my notepad. So on my notepad, there's going to be a couple of things. You're going to start out with a page just like you normally would, okay? You design it, make it look pretty. You put your H1 header on there. You know, our H1 header's up here, you know, which is usually going to be a keyword plus the location. The next step, and I'm going to go ahead and close that one down, and we'll go into Google My Business listing so you can see this. You'll miss it if you don't catch it. I mean, it's that Google My Business. All right, so let's go into Google My Business. Let's choose Dent Picks. And if you have questions, just drop them in on the side. I'll eventually get to them. right, let's admit all these people in. So normally, let's say when you're in your GMB, you may or may not have a GMB website enabled already. If you go over to the left, you see where it says website, you click on website. If you didn't have a website already, it'd say create website. All it's going to do is take in your contact information, your posts, your reviews, your directions, and your map and slap it on here. So the first step is what I do is I come in here and I go, what's the code for, what's your link? What's your Google My Business site link, which is this right here. Okay, so the first thing you need is this, right? So we're going to grab that. So grab that, and we'll put it on my handy dandy little notepad, and then I'm going to show you one last thing. So we got that piece of information. The next thing we need is going to be, okay, and in the SOP, I'm talking about how to create a Google My Business site if it's not created, et cetera, how to create a theme, choose a theme, publish it, view your site. Next step is going to be, how do I embed, how do I get, if you will, I'll show you one more time. How do I get my GMB site to be populated on this page? Because you can't just grab a code. You can't just grab the link and put it in there. No one's going to show you this shit. So what you do is there's a piece of code that I have that I go right here. You see it? It's an iframe code. You take this code right here, and all you have to do is take this code and slap it in on the page. The only thing you have to change is what I have highlighted. So you don't have to do anything else but take this fucking code and edit it in here and slap it into the back end of the website on that page that you're building. If you don't know how to build pages, we'll do it for you. But the thing is, you need to know some basic web design, right? Go in the back end, you slap in your code. Once I slap in my code, it will populate in there, right? I can show you exactly how to do it and everything if you really want. Let's do it live. Fuck it.
Does it just get pasted into the HTML editor and it creates an entire page?
Bingo. It creates I'll show you everything. We'll do it live. So that way everybody can just see. Oh, let me view these people. This class might be a little bit longer than normal. Nope. Okay. Letting everybody in. All right. So let me unshare this and share this again. So this is the back end of my site. Let's say I wanted to create this. I would go new page, right? So I have the code already. This is the code. Let's say I wanted to name this, let's say Google My Business.
Hey, William, we can't see your screen.
Okay, thank you. Let's say I wanted to name this Google My Business SEO. So it's a brand new page and everything like that, right? I want to take this code, which you're going to get in a SOP, and I'm going to put it in this block. And I'm going to choose custom HTML. I drag and drop the code. Let's go here. Let's go to rank, fortress, Agonian City. Let's go to website. Let's grab the site. And then we're going to change that one little piece of code right here. That's all we're going to do. Right. That one little piece, let me let these people in, copy.
I think it's missing the HTTPS.
No, that's what I'll show you. So HTTPS, and then I'm going to take that one little piece of code is all and replace that right here after site, right? right? So let's see it actually work. Let's hit publish, and let's view it once it's done doing its thing. So bam. So let's edit the page so I can get rid of all this nice, lovely stuff. So go over here, no sidebar, update it. I'm not a web designer. I just know enough to be dangerous per se. I let everybody else do the web design stuff. Come on. Although I used to pump out sites like freaking babies. So that's going to be the first piece of information in it. As soon as it uploads, come on. Admit this person in. There we go. So there it is embedded. All right, so now how do I get the next piece, which is going to be how do I hot link my images in here? So how do I hot link my images? Hot linking is, this stuff down here. How do I get my hot links in here, which is all this stuff, right? So hot linking is pretty easy. All hot linking is I go to my posts. We're going to edit this real quick because we're going to do it live.
Jordan, you hear about England? They were ordered to play behind closed doors. In the Europe?
I had to mute whoever that was. All right, so hot linking. All hot linking is I right click, copy the image. Right click, copy the image. That's all I got. Right click, copy image. It's it. Right click, copy image. That is hot linking. And then whenever I go back in here, paste it. It's control V. It's literally, that's all it is. I can enter in columns. Let's say I'm going to do 3 columns, right? And then I take this and I can either just slap an image in there, or put a block in there or whatever, right? Let's just do paragraph, control V. There you go. Paragraph. And I go back into my post and I just grab this post, copy image. Just right click. That's all you're literally fucking doing. It's just right click, control V. Go down to the next one. Right click, copy image, control V. That's it. So now they're hot linked, right? You paste the code in, and I have the code in here. I tell you how to change everything and do all the shit that you want to do to it, to quote unquote, if you want to do anything special to it, if you want to align it, if you want to center it, if you have different builders or whatever, and you want to do that. Okay. Now the next one that everybody's been asking about, this is the one that made Holly have her orgasm when she saw it. Just kidding. But so if you look at it, you'll see now you got hot linked images down here. This site uses cookies from Google. So I'm tying my GMB, Google, all that shit to my website. So now the next part is RSS.app. Literally, once again, I go down here to website and I grab my website link. And I go over to, and I'm going to show you all how to do it. You go log in, go to my feeds. I'm going to create a new feed, even though I already have one, right? Go new feed. You're going to enter in your web page URL, generate. It generated the RSS feed, right? Done. Had saved to my feeds. I go to widgets. I hit add to website. I'm going to choose iframe, and guess some other shit you can do with iframe I haven't even talked to y'all about yet. I'll show you in a second. You can put in between these two little Pac-Man lesser and greater signs, you can actually put in, if you will, keyword insertions. Okay. But for the most part, we're going to keep this simple. So we copy the code. Then once I go back here, I go into here and I go, okay, I want to add in another piece of code. I just hit, HTML code, drop it, update it. Once it's done updating, go view page, you'll have an RSS feed. RSS feed, done. All right. And I go through all that in the SOP. Now, of course, what we're always going to do, we put our name, address, phone number. The real juice, if you will, comes from what we do as well afterwards. And like I've always said, I personally want to have as many, if you will, nodes or strings of code from my Google My Business listing to my website. The reason why I came up with this was I just thought, how can I get all of Google My Business's information from my entity on my website? Let me think of this. How can I get posts in? How can I do this? And that's how I got into this. So I go Rank Fortress Digital Agency, and what's my address? Rope 1, Sulliwas, Pagadian City. It's just all you're doing is entering your, if you will, your name, address, phone number. What's your phone number? All that shit. And 0916-620-3669. Yes, it is my phone number. And of course, your website link, All right, so embed. So we got our name, address, phone number in here, blah, blah, blah. Convert it to a link, all that's in here. Okay. Now I hit update. I've just learned to update shit as you're doing it. Okay. So now I have my name, address, phone number in there. Now, how do I do, a map embed, right? Map embed, and I'm going to show you all exactly how to do this. We also do keyword insertions on our map embed. Let me go back here to home and view on maps. And I hit share, right? And I'm going to hit embed map. I grab the HTML. I go back over my website and I'm going to enter in, if you will, more lovely, handy dandy code into it. And let's say I want it to be, in this case, custom HTML. I want to move this down, once I'm done. Go down, 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 down. And I'm going to drop the code in. Now, how do I do a keyword insertion? So you see right here where it says %20. Okay, you see that? If you ever go to grab the map, you'll see inside the code, you'll see %20. %20 is basically going, hey, this pretty much means space. So if I wanted to put in another keyword, I go %20, sorry about that, %20, Google %20, my %20, business %20, SEO. Now, so that's in the iframe, and I hit, let me change this real quick, shrink it back down, hit update. Then I go to view page. If you scroll down, you'll see the RSS feeds, the embeds, all that jazz. I got too much space here, which I'll fix. But now let's say for that embed where I went, for example, I added in the keywords here. If you were to hover over the actual hyperlink for the reviews, you'll see at the very bottom left. Now, instead of just saying Rank Fortress Digital Agency, it says Rank Fortress Digital Agency, Google My Business SEO. So that's how you do a keyword insertion. And I have all of this in my handy dandy lovely SOP, which every one of y'all will get. And I go through how to, I mean, every step we've already went over, we go over all of it. The embeds, everything. So now, besides doing that, do I know if they rank or if I'm pulling in keywords or any of that shit? So this is a brand new, this is Google Search Console. This is brand new from one I did not even too long ago. So it's a brand new website and everything else. This is September. Is it pulling in traffic? Is it starting to rank? Is it getting impressions? Is it getting clicks? Yes. Brand new. Okay. Now the secret sauce, if you will, if there is such a thing, I'll show you. And it's something I wound up, if you will, how are you getting traffic to it? Because the problem is a lot of times, give me 1 second, I'm going to go through this and I'll show you exactly. So you get your will stack up and you have all that stuff done, right? And now you want to, quote unquote, start sending traffic to it. You need to send traffic to that page is ultimately what it boils down to. And what we're going to do is we send traffic to that page, or not even just that page, but those GMB posts, the Google site, all connected to that page, and those specific hot links and those specific RSS feeds, okay, using a 4G neighborhood network of mobile IPs. Okay. Then after I do that, I also backlink to them using a 4-tier process. So by the time the backlinks get to it, it's clean as a whistle. Okay. Can I add my GMB site to Google? Okay. I'll go through them all. So, but I put, so the 4G, no, it's not Holly's network. This is Holly does CTR. I mean, she could correct me if I'm wrong, but Holly does CTR via phones. I'm not talking about it's CTR, but it's using a proxy. It's using neighborhood proxies on a 4G mobile network. And no, it is not Hydra Vipers. Okay, so yeah, Holly's doing it. Like I said, she does hers via phones, which is freaking amazing. But to actually be able to do it on a scale like this, I can't do it that way. So on top of it, we're sending backlinks via 4-tier process. Okay. 4-tier meaning instead of me going, here's your money site and here's a bunch of backlinks going to it, I go, here's 1 tier linking to this one, linking to this one, finally linking to your GMB posts. So by the time the pickle juice, if you will, gets to, you know, what you're trying to send it to, then it's clean as a whistle. Costs $167 per order per client every time I do it. Yep, neighborhood IPs. You got it. Neighborhood IPs are best for, if you will, CTR if you're going to do it not via phones, you know. So let me go ahead and I'll start answering some of these questions. Let me close out this right here. I mean, really, that's it. That's all it is, man. It's not. Once you do the page, once you do the RSS feed, the secret on top of it, like I've told people before, and I know Chris has told people before, is going to be, you know, traffic. Traffic's the #1 ranking factor by far. Okay, so we have our GMB site embedded. We got the RSS feed in there. We got the hot link images in there. We got our Google map with keyword insertions in there. All that jazz. And let me pull open the SOP. So let me see. I will not, normally I go, hey, let me make a video and I'm going to do a video and I'm going to make everybody comment for my SOP. I'm not doing that in this case because this is not something I share with everybody. Okay, that's number one. So I don't tell everybody about this shit. So that's why most people are not going to see it unless you're in GMB Pros, you're not getting it. Okay. Let me open up the chat. I'll go through it. This is the SOP. I go through making a page, how to create your Google My Business site if you don't have it, how to embed the business, right? I give you the code. I go through hot linking the images. You know, if you even want to slap in the text, I go through how to do that as well. How to create the RSS feed, right? How to add your name, address, phone number. You know, then how to embed the map, and then how to do the keyword insertions. If you really wanted to throw some more extra juice on it, I would tell you do a YouTube stack as well. Okay, but besides that, I do neighborhood proxies, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to throw up a special whenever I send out this SOP and I put it in the back end. I will also have the special for you guys that want the neighborhood proxies and the traffic and the CTR and the backlinks that are going to go to that page. Okay, let me go through the questions. If you have questions, drop them in the back and I'm going to be answering. What did you fix to make your screen clear? So in OBS, I have two layers. One is for whenever I'm doing presentations. One's when I'm doing videos. Okay. I'm not posting the code in the chat, but I will be posting it in the whole SOP in the back end. Holly says that alone is worth the price of the class itself. The SOP is going to be the shits. 8 p.m. is golden hour. Yeah, try to drop golden nuggets right on, Holly. I appreciate that, Holly. So you do not have to be in Gutenberg. Nope. You can be in regular straight HTML. You don't even need to be in WordPress to do any of what I just showed you. RYS, you can add the code on any website, correct? You don't even have to have HTML site, PHP, anything. William, is it worth stuffing? Yes. So in the images and stuff, you can actually go in and slap in your latitude and longitude. We'll go over that in another class. Because I have a specific SOP for adding latitude and longitude in images and optimizing your images and doing image layovers and stuff like that, and you know, CID and all the information. Do you put all your images in there where you're hot linking? You can. In a lot of them, I put about 20. Okay, what's the benefit of hot linking? The benefit of everything that I showed you, you're taking your GMB, you're taking the nodes, if you will, from your GMB, connecting it to your website, saying, hey, this GMB is about this entity. Okay. The hot linking is from the posts, not the photos. You cannot hot link the photos. You can only hot link the posts. If you were to go into any GMB, let's just go, you know, let's go roofer Atlanta, right? Let's choose one. Let's say Mr. Roofer in Atlanta, and Mr. Roofer over here has these images. Try to hot link them, if you will, by right clicking. You can't copy the image. You can only copy the address. With a post, for example, if it was a post, I could actually hot link the image, because hot linking the image, for example, is just me going like this. I go down here. If he's got a post like this, I can open up the post. I right click, copy image, Control V into wherever I want to put it. All right. Okay. Thanks. Dropping fire. Holy shit. So simple. It's so simple. It's ridiculous, man. I looked for it for a long time. I worked on that for like weeks, lost my shit through through my laptop. Then William just drops this bomb last week. Laughing out loud. It's RSS.app. If you mess with the widget settings, you can display the images and 13 lines on the GMB. Yep. You can, what he's talking about, if you actually go into the settings, let's go back here. Okay, so if you go into the settings, let's go to the widget, in all of this, you have your settings. How do you want it? Do you want it custom? Okay, do you want 2 columns? Do you want Nero pink? Do you want showtime? Do you want grid? Like this, like so. Do you want it a feed? Do you want it a carousel? Right? Do you want a list? Do you want a ticker like that? You see all this badass stuff, Holly? I didn't even show you that yet. Then a magazine. Okay. You know, sometimes I've been able to get the images to display, sometimes not. So raise, that's why I kind of go with that. You know, sometimes it displays images and sometimes it doesn't, but it will always pull in the information. So that's kind of why I do it the way I do it. I do it as a simple, just a feed. You can go in here and do a news wall, a feed, a carousel, a list, a ticker, a magazine. The ticker's pretty cool. I like that, but I just go with the feed or the news wall. Okay. You can go in here and edit and slap into the description. You don't want images, you want images. Do you want to hide it? Duplicate description, titles. You want to whitelist, blacklist, clean title. You want to hide old posts or not. You want to remove text or not. You can do all types of shit in here. Let's see, how many posts do you add for this page? As many as possible. I mean, I put in 20, at least about 20 is what how often do I update it? I don't, unless I'm going to change it and add more traffic or do another gig on it. Which when I say do another gig, I want to add in more traffic using CTR to send, you know, mobile traffic to it, then I'll do that. It will grab the post and then send it from the GMB. Patrick, can you add Google search engine tricky shit? You can, but I'm not worried about that. Dan, holy shit balls, right, Dan? Oh my God, how do we link with this GNS? So I'm going to be giving everybody the SOP for this. That's a GMB Pro. There's tons of stuff you can do in an iframe, but that's enough for today's class. Is basically just taking and doing embeds. I mean, I could give you another one real quick if you wanted to. I mean, so for example, let's go over to YouTube. Let's say, you know, let's grab anything. I mean, let's say you had someone you were trying to outrank or whatever you wanted to do. Let's say I go share this and I get embed code. I can copy his embed code, right? And then I have this embed code and in between this iframe, and I know this works because I've done it and Chris does it. And I'm pretty sure Holly might have done it. But let's say I wanted to go to someone's website and for informational purposes only, but go to Black Hat SEO and I go, okay, WordStream. They're the #1 person on Black Hat SEO, right? I could take all this handy dandy lovely information, take it, go into SpinBot if you wanted to spin it, just giving you something. I wanted to spin it and I hit go, it's going to spin it. Of course, you want me to enter in my CAPTCHA. But once it spins it, let's just say it spinned it, then I can take, let's spin it, spin the text. It says Black Hat SEO and all that jazz. And I take that, right? And I can take this embed, this text and slap it inside this embed code. And whenever I go over to, let's go to, I'll open up Rank Fortress again. Let's go over to pages. For the one I just made, for example. anyone really. It's just easy for, let's take this one real quick. All right. Or let's take it just to make a new post because I don't want to go digging. And I want to post that code in there. I just go, you know, right. It's got the original code with the embed, you know, with all this additional code. And I hit publish, publish. Now, whenever I go, and you can do this on anything, embeds are just really, I mean, they're badass when it comes to ranking. And then on top of it, I can, all you see is Chris's video. But if I was to run this through a mobile checker, the mobile device checker on tools to see the mobile friendly, is it mobile friendly? Let's say run this test and I'll show you how you can check it. If it will do it, because my internet's actually not been too great today. But normally when you run the mobile test, it actually has on the right-hand side where it will show you the code. Is Google reading the code is what I'm trying to get at. So you already see here that it's here, but you don't see it. But if I was to view page source code, is it being pulled? And then also on the mobile friendly test, you can check it as well in the HTML, okay? But if you were to go, let me shut the spin bot. If I was to check this right here and go view page source code and go find black hat, it's all in the source code. Every last bit of it. So technically speaking, I could literally take someone's, if you will, let's say their video, or let's say something, whatever you want to do, I could literally just honestly take that entire, make an entire page, take their video, take their content, slap their content inside, if you will, the back end in a code and outrank them, or do skyscraper method. There's so many fucking things I could wind up doing. It's not even funny. Okay, so that's just one thing we could do. Just giving you another example of something that you could do with an iframe. So let's see what our questions we got. I'm dropping the SOP afterwards once we upload, along with the gig. If you want the traffic and the tiers, it's 4 tiers of backlinks you start with. And let's say we're taking it to the GMB post and the RSS feed. Instead of going direct to that link, I go, here's backlink or tier 4, tier 3, tier 2, tier 1. Tier 1 is going to be, if you will, where the pickle juice hits. All right. Where the pickle juice hits, or where it connects to my money site. Okay. Let me see. We got more people trying to get in here. Oh, I'm going to stop screen share for right now. All right, let's go through this. All right, I'm going to go through some more. Wish there was a way. All right. No, this is my own sauce, dude. Patrick, this is my own sauce. Dan, my own sauce as far as the local CTR. Now, if Holly usually makes a post and she'll say, hey, I'm going to be in, I'm driving through Texas or I'm driving through Florida, and I know she's taking phones with her, I'll have her do CTR. This is my own backlinks, my own CTR, my own neighborhood shit. I'm not even using, there's a reason I'm not using, if you will, Hydra Vipers anymore, FYI. Where do I get these neighborhood proxies? IPs. Do some good due diligence and research. Not all neighborhood IPs or proxies are the same, and Holly will tell you that. The biggest problem most people is they try to use a neighborhood IP or get good IPs or proxies, and their source is jacked up, it's dirty. James Slatery, Full House. Yeah, it's generally like this almost every day of the week, James. Holly, have you tried to make that page on the network? Yes, I actually already tested that. Me and you think so much alike. It's not funny. So on Holly's news network, we could do the same thing because we were already testing this shit. So let's say I go over to Holly's news network. Let me log in real quick. You can do the same thing on her news network because all it is code, right? So let's take this iframe right here and let's go create an article. I'm going to share my screen so you can see it. I'm on Holly's news network, right? I go view, source code, drop the iframe in, and voila. Okay. Let's take the RSS feed as well. Let me go get the RSS feed. App or RSS app, and I'll show you that as well, Holly. Go over here, grab the feeds, grab the widget, add to a website, JavaScript, iframe it, copy it, go over here to Holly's stuff again, go view page source, drop it down here, save, voila. So yes, Holly, I already tried that. All right, so let's see. Yeah, the ticker is very pretty. I just don't use it. Dan, can you also CTR to the GMB listing? I don't go straight to a GMB listing, not using this method. No, sir. How many keywords would I insert into the map? I insert a shit ton of them. So in other words, if I'm going after 20, 30 of them, I'll put 30 of them in there. But I just, I will test it. Sometimes it works with just a handful, let's say 10 or 12. Sometimes I can get off with, a hell of a lot more. So I just try. Dominic, what day of the week is it that you ask you anything session? Generally speaking, AMAs are on Wednesdays with Brent Bowser, Mike Merlino, myself, Holly Starks, and Chris Palmer. I believe it's Wednesday. Well, Chris Palmer's on Thursday. So do we drop this in the footer of the website? No, this is dropped in an actual page of building out an actual page. Go through and watch the video again if you have to. Can you say again how much the neighborhood proxy? So the neighborhood proxies with the backlink with the CTR is $167 for 1 gig, which means one website, basically. And I will drop that in the back end whenever I upload the video. Does this go into a specific type of page on the site? No, I create a new page. So when I create the page, for instance, I will create them, right? And I put it in the bottom of every single site. However, if you ever see this, I've worked with them. Right down here at the very bottom. Right. All right. I'm going, and if you look at the page, and I'll put a sample in there for y'all to look at. Right. So you can see it. You're going to do that. Dan says, I'm going to do this for a real estate site. The impossible local niche. It's possible. It's just, more work. Patrick, how do we do the other tricky shit with RSS feeds? Today, I'm just going over this, RSS feeds in general. It's like Holly uses them to pull in. She has an RSS feed network. If you don't know it, go to hollystarks.com, which is really cool. Is there a way to embed the actual review request screen to your page? So if I get what you're trying to say, just for example, so you're trying to embed the review requests. You're wanting, if you will, let's say, I'm just throwing this in here. I'm just generating a link in this, but you're wanting to actually embed it. And I have yet to find a way to embed it. That's why I hyperlink it. If you go to, let's say, most of our sites in the top right-hand side, we have this. Okay, because that's doing a call out with a call out string with LRD, keyword searches, etc. It's a real tricky, nifty shit, but I have yet to see a way in which I can quote unquote embed this. So if I went to this, you know, it would pull up the knowledge graph, etc. Okay, but no, I haven't found an embed way of doing it that way, what you're talking about. Let's see. Does it matter which 20 posts to hot link? Well, the 20 posts, if I'm going to send traffic to it, I want them to be 20 posts about the specific topic or specific service that I'm trying to get ranked. You're going to silo your Google My Business post. We go over how to optimize Google My Business post in another class in which we silo the posts, and then we take those posts. And if we're going after, let's say, roof repair, we want to post the roof repair post in there, okay? And have it daisy chained to everything. Hi, William. Okay, I will once again, I will tell them, Andy, but don't come in here asking this, please. And then Rabaz, what is YouTube Embed Network? So an embed network. So when I do a video, and I'll show you, this is for another day, another topic, but I have a video embed network with Holly. So for example, on the embed network, this is a video that I did, right? And if you were to take any of my videos, just for example, anything I've done, I mean, like I was showing earlier, you'll see it ranking. And this embed network, if I was to type in, let's say Willy Wonka, or let's say anything, crime scene cleanup, or let's take, I don't want to do crime scene cleanup, but let's say this, export the URLs. It gives me a list of all the embeds that I'm doing for that specific video with the keywords I want, with the title I want going across Holly's embed network, and then I submit it to a mega indexer. So that's what that is. Let's see, these videos are always at rankfortressacademy.com. You always use different tiers. Tiers means I'm not doing a direct backlink to a website because I don't want to, because I want clean link juice, not direct, not going direct from one to another. So let's say, God forbid, one of your backlinks go sour and they are marked as spam or marked as crap, and Google punishes you. If I have it tiered, I can easily remove it because it's not direct to my website. Okay. Where is it exactly to paste the spin? In between the Pac-Man signs, in between the greater sign and lesser sign. You see right here? In between those two, right here. What we call open close in HTML. Correct. That's correct, John. In between that. So how much for your VAs to set up all this per account? So set up just the will stack. I mean, it's the VAs are $300 for 40 hours. So Patrick. No, Patrick, regarding Hydra Vipers, that's personal reasons. Give me 1 second. You said you can't unmute yourself, Holly. Give me a second. I'll do that for you. Just wondering why you're kind of silent. Let's go to Holly real quick. Ask to unmute. There you go.
Okay, sorry, I have to mute myself off and on because of, my puppy, because otherwise
It's okay.
he will bark over you.
So let me go through this real quick. Yep, do an MTI frame and load the content. I could take someone that's outranking me, take their content, spin it, slap that shit up in there, or not spin it. It's up to you. I would suggest you spin it, but there are times where I don't. Let's see here. Does it matter? Okay, I went through all that already. Okay, you're learning the YouTube Embed Network. I'll be doing another class on that one, and then I'll have an offer for you guys regarding that. Pretty good negative SEO trick. Yep. Do an MTI frame with loaded content. So would you borrow the video and the content of your competitor ranking a page and do that? No, it doesn't send more authority to their website. There's something we call the high tower or skyscraper method, in which I can take, for example, I take their exact article, take it exactly as it is, word for word, if you will, spin it. And then I take another, let's say 4,000 or 5,000 words of content, slap it on top of it. And then I can contact the same people that originally pushed the article or, promoted the article. And I say, hey, we got a new 2022 edition of that article you posted. Would you mind blasting it out to your people? And they do it effortlessly. So it's a good way to get a lot of traffic really quick and steal someone's authority. Are these videos? Yeah, the videos are rankfortressacademy.com. God dang it, that is golden to use it like that. Suck an egg. Oh, Patrick. Well, yeah, I dream of a lot of this tricky shit. What are you using for tier 4, tier 3, tier 2, tier 1? Have to place an order to find out. I'm not going to tell you. That's not going to say, here's all my shit. You want my shit, pay for it. William, I did this on the weekend. I'm going to look at this real quick for this person. I'll look at it, not in public. Nice. I like it. I like it a lot. It's nice. It's pretty. The only thing with doing pretty is it takes a lot more time is all. Alvin, I like it though. Trust me. Yeah, and we can do the same thing. I mean, it's the same thing. We actually do the text and stuff like that on ours as well. It just takes a little bit of time. You have to, if you wanted to have the blue or the color coded and match it. The value of tonight's call is next level for real. I appreciate that, Holly. Appreciate that, Logan, for real. Ken. So embedding the stack on a Holly's News Network article, publishing it just so those GMB properties will get traffic. Imagine taking Google's news sites and you're taking your entire fucking GMB and putting it on Google's news site and said, I'm pretty much taking the stack and saying, let me shove this shit down your throat, Google. Is what I'm basically doing. It's the same thing I do with my YouTube stack, which old JJ thinks, I'm doing it a specific way, and I'm not. I'm going, do a blog post, use Wave, then on top of that, throw it on YouTube, then I have to do it through YouTube, do CTR through about 5 or 6 different methods I use, okay? And then get that bitch ranked, because I can rank on almost any keyword so far using the methods I use, and then embed networks and all that shit. The LRD is just another way of saying every GMB has an LRD, and Lucid that refers to a specific GMB. So I create a dedicated page on every site that we do work for. Yes. And I put a link in the bottom right hand side, and I don't quote unquote make it match the footer color, but a little bit of an off color. Okay, because I don't want to hide it or it to be hidden text, but I don't want people knowing what to look for unless they know who I am and they can look for it. Okay, so and then to go on Andy. Okay, and the other problem, and I've mentioned this, so for example, everybody that's here, and I'll show you this video, and I've posted this video inside of Facebook. Okay, so if you go inside of Facebook, I have a video that literally says, because 900% of the time I have people do this, they go, I submit a support ticket, they submit a support ticket, and then when they go to correspond with the support, instead of logging into support, they simply reply to the email address, which is going to get you absolutely nowhere. If you actually log into support and communicate inside support, not saying that's not what you're doing, but if you do that, the whole chain of conversation is there. So for example, if you just simply reply to an email with the information they're wanting, they're not going to get it, and it's not going to be logged, and it's not going to be on the tickets, and no one will ever see it. Okay. Dominic, if you had a multi-location site with 5 GMBs, well, I don't ever do 5 GMBs on one location. So that just resolves that right there. I don't do 5. I won't one website per GMB regardless. I've just found it to be a hell of a lot more effective. John, if you pick up a new client with a decent backlog of blog posts that weren't being pushed onto their GMB, would you use those first? Silent, of course, yes. Patrick, what are times you do not spin the content? Depends. Generally speaking, whenever I'm going against someone that is harassing me. Now, there's only one person that's harassing me right now. So everybody else leaves me alone. That's true. Matthew, do these classes have become a nightly hangout? Is that lame or badass? Patrick, ha ha ha. Patrick, oh, I didn't realize your tier 4 types are secret. It's not secret, it's just stuff I'm not going to give away. You got to pay for it. You know, pay for the backlinks, pay for the information. Ken Peloso, thank you. One business in 20 locations, they have location pages. Once again, I don't do that. Separate websites for every location, depending on specifically and why, because I could take one GMB and get it ranked in a 100-mile radius. I've done it before. I've done it repetitively. I can get one GMB ranked in a 40-mile radius. I've done it repetitively. Okay. I don't need a shit ton of GMBs like a lot of people want to teach to get multiple, if you will, spread my proximity. I have other methods of spreading my proximity. You could do that if you wanted to, Aaron. I just know it's less effective. My Facebook group is, the free Facebook group is, if you don't know where it says, Google My Business SEO Help Group and Local SEO Tips with William Jones. Dominic, what if the client well, I don't work with the client that has multiple locations on one specific GMB. If you have multiple locations, and I've worked with you before in the past, I believe, Dominic, and still, if you work, I believe this is Wellington, I would tell you to have multiple websites with multiple GMBs. Susie, what if the client doesn't want another website? Then they can find another SEO. Could we use their location? You could, but it's not going to work. I know people that talk about it working, and I've done it too many damn times. I've done it over and over and over and over again. You can have people set up, okay, for instance, let me put it this way. If your main location is in Orlando, let's say it's in Orlando, right? And you have another location in Miami and another location in Tallahassee, and you put all of those GMBs on that website, you're essentially taking the entity information, connecting it to one hub or one website, and you're telling Google, every one of these fucking locations are about me, and you're going to try to rank in Tallahassee, Orlando, and Miami. And how are you going to do that? And if you're going to talk about your services, and if you're going to talk about yourself, your homepage, every other page, and you're going to use multiple locations, it is much easier to use one location for GMBs. Now, if you go service plus location, and you have service plus location for that specific city using that specific GMB, and you want to do that, you could probably do that. But it's not something I personally do. Dominic, my man, you just stick to your guns. I just know the way things work, and I know my processes for one. And what happens with a lot of agencies is they'll bend over backwards for clients, and I'll readily give a client a fucking refund if they're a pain in my ass, because I know what has worked for thousands and thousands of clients. I know, for example, if I'm already getting movement, and if you'll just sit on your damn hands, then you'll get what you want. But if you want to be involved in the process and you want to tell an SEO how to do something, or, hey, I got this location or that location, then you don't get results. And then people are like, oh my God, why? Well, why is because you're trying to become an SEO and you don't got that much experience, and you got a specific way you want to do it. And then you wind up fucking things up. Just being honest. What if it's the same area, Orlando? Now, that's the only time I would tell you maybe. But even then, for example, I might have Orlando, Winter Park, and all the different areas. But once again, I have ranked shit within 40 miles all the way up to 100 miles. I have a moving company in South Florida that ranks in a 100-mile radius. One of the most spammiest niches. You're talking about millions upon millions, okay, of population. Not just, a little 40,000, 100,000, 500,000. I'm talking about millions, okay? Now you can do that. That I agree with. Glenn, you could actually take, let's say it was rankfortress.com, or let's say movingorlando.com. I could go Tallahassee.movingorlando.com and create subdomain names. You could do that, but even in that case, I'm not going to do it unless I'm doing some black hat shit and you're paying me to do it. Adon, what was the Facebook traffic screenshot I shared yesterday? That is just showing engagement in the group, breaking the algorithm, because I actually teach people how to grow a Facebook group, how to optimize their profile, how to build an agency. Raise, love the blunt answers. It's so important, guys, to have your system correct, and only do this: rinse and repeat. Don't bother trying to set up custom packages for clients. You have your proven system, and if someone doesn't want that, then they are a bad fit for you. I learned that fucking lesson, and I will not deal with anybody that, if you want to do it your way, find someone else. If you're coming to me, there's a reason you're coming to me. Okay. And, I've had clients that think they're going to, they're employing me or hiring me as an employee. I fire them and I give them a refund. I won't deal with the shit. It gives you peace of mind. I had a guy last night. I was just on literally, and he's a cool cat. He's like, what the fuck? I got charged after 30 days. Duh. Every 30 days you're charged. I even told him, I called him and said, of course you got charged. It's past 30 fucking days. What do you think? I work for fucking free? No. Okay. Holly, he knows his skill set and he doesn't break his wheel. That is super important. Yep. Like I know if I needed someone to do, you know, certain shit, I'd go just to Holly or just to Chris or just to Craig or just to Mike. I got all types of people I'll go to and bounce shit off of because I don't know everything. I don't pretend to know everything. For one GMB, how is the local to that area if it's 100 miles? Because I know how to get my proximity to spread. Most of the time when someone's looking for a mover, in that case, they could be looking for a mover 50 miles away or further because you can get in long distance moving as well as local moving. Key that most people don't understand is spreading proximity, which I actually did a video. It's on my channel, which I talk about spreading proximity, and I'll show you guys that video. Let me go see what the name of it was. It is, good God, I'm almost up 3,700. Oh shit. That was fast. Just mess with you. It is called Google tool that boosts any website in seconds, or tool that destroys Google's algorithm. You know what the first one I list out is? Your brain. Then the next one, and I do this in like let's say 5 minutes or so. And the next one is Google Search Console. And then I show, if you look at it, watch this video, I'll show you. Most people miss it. This video right here where I'm showing the Google Search Console, and you see in the back of the GMB, I'm not Google Search Console, but Insights. And you see the purple areas, the dark purple represents where he's definitely ranking at, but he also wants to rank in Plano, and it's lighter purple. That tells me I need to put more content or more information on my site about Plano. If I was in Garland and I want to rank more in Garland, I need to put more information about Garland and create geocentric information on that site about Garland. And so I go over all that shit. Some of the stuff I go over for free, then the secret shit I keep to us. Okay. Go through some more of this. Okay, so one location with multiple GMBs, you could do that if you wanted to. It's just not me. Bambi. So after creating the page and linking it to the footer is just a text link, that's linked to that page. I don't match the exact color, just like if it's black, I'll do like an off gray. So it's not in plain sight, but it's not hidden. Yep, Seth, my way or the highway. That's a fact. And for the most part, people like that, believe it or not. My client, he talks to me the same way. I talk back and forth. I'm not, you gonna cuss at me? Trust me, I will cuss your ass out. And then, because I'm gonna leave you a negative review. Okay, I could do the same thing. It's okay to ruin my shit, but I can't ruin your shit. Fuck you. Craig Campbell said that the other day on a call thing, because you get people that act that way. I'm gonna drop 5 or 10 negative reviews on you. Okay, good luck with that shit. I call up my boy, say, yeah, GMB, drop 100 damn negative ass reviews on that shit. It's a fact. Try to mess with my shit. Ken, hell yeah, William Gunn's out attack. Yeah, it's like keep messing. Keep fucking around. Susie Bloomfield. Hey, Holly. Patrick, you cracked me up, William. I appreciate that. At least crack somebody up. Susie Bloomfield, fantastic. I will watch. It's like, for instance, and y'all guys know the dude, but I'm not going to mention names or nothing, but he's making fucking videos and trying to change my GMB and all this shit. And he's making videos, posting on his timeline. It's like, dumbass, don't you realize you're sending me traffic? People do this shit all the time, man. So just get used to it. People try to threaten all that shit. So what would be a location page for Garland? So location pages, if you've never seen my location pages, this is prior to us doing the them via the WordPress plugin. The WordPress plugin, does work. You know, because I have not just myself, but plenty of people come in and say, "Oh my God, I used it. It's amazing." You know, a location page, for example, will look like this when we do it manually. Has all their services listed out, service areas, neighborhoods, weather, top sites, all that jazz with a map embed. Shit, y'all people still coming in here. So as part of my client onboarding, you ask a client where they want to expand their business. Generally speaking, clients that are motivated, that have the money and want to expand into a 100-mile radius will tell me, because it's not going to be cheap. It's not the same price. You know, it's not going to be $800. I'll put it that way. 100 miles, you're looking at about $5,000. You know, let's see here. Should we not use footer content site wide? I wouldn't say that. I mean, I put footer content in and it's still being picked up. It's because homeboy loves you, man. He can't get you out of his head. I agree. I love it though. I mean, just looked at it again. My damn YouTube subscribers yesterday has just went off the fucking chart. In the amount of time we've done it, I'm impressed. I really am. It takes a lot to impress me. It's a lot of hard work, don't get me wrong, but it's worth it. And I get to do what I love doing. So check my Facebook post and video on locations, plug in, tag me in on my wall, Ken, okay? Because honestly, it's 102,000 members in that group, and it's a full-time job, okay? Went from 0 to solid 4th place. Sweet, I love it. Like I said, post on my personal wall, tag me in it, okay? And post in all the groups and tag me in it. Would I have a location page for the 100 miles out? Nope, that's done without that. It's not how I'm doing it. Please tie in why you were showing the rankings for different keywords at the beginning, because we were just talking, right? It has nothing to do with what I showed today. Absolutely nothing. We're going to be talking about YouTube on another class, okay, when we go over YouTube stacks, because we will be going over that in another class. Today we went over RSS feeds. Next week, this round is going to go much longer. I'm just letting y'all know. It's probably not going to be no damn 6 weeks. Next week, I'm going to go over how to create the handy dandy little PDF that's down here, and getting my PDF reviews like y'all seen me do. This PDF, how to get this in the bottom of your website, right? With all the reviews, all of them tied over to GMBs. How to do the GMB embeds on the home page, write a review, all that shit. So that will be next week. Tomorrow will be Lane with Signal Genesis. And let's see, inside my SOP for the wheel stack, is there an example? The slug and the slug, no. The URL slug, no. It's just you name it according to your keyword. I mean, really, if you name it the header is in there, H1, it's main keyword plus city. That's what your slug is, main keyword plus city. Okay, let's see. You work really hard, buddy. It's an inspiration. I appreciate that. I do have goals. I put in, even though I have my VAs, I still put in 12 to 14 hours a day. And I work out and I eat right, you know, now at least. So, Aaron, question, when should I have do follow external links on my site? I only use 1 or 2 external links on my site, and they're specifically on location pages. Susie, you rock. Williams, besides laughing out loud, a lot of your blunt answers. I have people that don't like it, but the people that don't like it, I don't want them in my life. So it's that simple. If you don't like it, things I say bother you, probably shouldn't be in my class. But nevertheless. All right, guys, it is 30 minutes after, and I got a phone call to jump on. Okay, I will upload this hopefully by end of day today with the offer in regards to the backlinks and the proxies and everything else. Hope you enjoyed it. By the way, Holly, I did send that link over to you. So whenever you blast that out, please let me know so I can be ready. Okay. All right. Appreciate you guys. Be blessed. Have a great day.